Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We've made it to November, which means we need to get the soybeans out of the ground. But first, we're going to come over here and check on the cows, because if I'm not mistaken, we should have a few babies by now. So let me jump off the four-wheeler real quick and go check my messages over here. And let's see, I gotta remember which of these tabs it's in. Okay, yeah, so we had 60, and now we have 108 animals in this pasture. Yep, there's right there. There's an Angus heifer calf there. There's an Angus heifer calf there. A few more there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Angus bulls. And a few Hereford calves. So we're just going to drive around here for a second and see if we can't find a couple of these babies to check on them. I think my goal here, oh, I forget. This is sorry about the cough in there. This is a fenceless pasture, but when you put your outline for your fence, it actually puts invisible fence posts down, so you still run into them every once in a while. So but I think the goal here is we're going to keep 5 of the bulls. Hopefully we have 1 bull of each breed, but if not, we're going to keep 5 bulls and send them over to the bull pasture. And then I think if I have enough heifers, I'll keep the heifers until we get to 100. So we'll have 100 heifers and 10 bulls, and then we'll send everything else over to the sorting pen at the farm to be fattened. I am not seeing a single one of these calves out here. Hope it's not a... I've had calves before with this realistic animal system, so they should be showing up, but I'm not seeing any right now. So hopefully we'll find some out here in the grass. There's supposed to be some out here somewhere. And of course, unlike, you know, anybody that farms in real life, you'll know that a freshly born baby calf would be right around the mother. But on this, they could be anywhere, so because they'll just be randomly roaming anywhere within the animal lash. Maybe the calves just aren't showing up, because I should have seen one by now. I've seen enough of my heifers now that I should have seen a calf by now. So we'll have to keep searching. Maybe if I find one, I'll pop the video back on and say something about it. If not, we are going to finish checking the cows, and then we'll meet you back at the farm and get the soybean harvest underway. Alright, we're finishing up the second small field here. You can see between this small field and the small field on the north side of the driveway up where our house is, the combine is only at about 50% full, so not a super high yield on the soybean crop this year, but it is what it is. You'll also notice we did switch out the headers, so this is out of the Macdon header pack that actually came with this combine mod. It is a little bit more modern. I don't remember flex draper headers back in the 1990s and early 2000s, but that's what we're going to use because it came with the mod and it's easy enough to get a header that actually matches the combine. So get through here and go dump this into the truck that's waiting for us up in the yard by the green bins, and then I think what I might do is just give you guys a little bit of time lapse of knocking the soybeans off of this big field. That way we can come back and finish this episode hopefully in December with finding some of our calves. I ended up driving around the rest of the pasture after I stopped recording. Still did not find a single calf, so I don't know if it's because of the limit of how many animals can be visible at one time, or if it's because the game is reading them as being 0 months old because they were just born, so the game's not registering that there's an actual animal there. I'm not sure. Didn't have any issues with this realistic animal mod and getting the baby pigs to show up, so we'll figure that out. But I'm gonna drop this in here, and then we're gonna go jump ahead and just do a quick time lapse of some of this soybean harvest. Alright, we've made it to December, but there's still no calves visible in the pasture, so we're just going to move on to the next chore. It's actually because it's December, and don't look at the top and believe that it's 80 degrees in December in central Nebraska. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't know about that. But since it's December, the meadow grass obviously is not growing in the pasture for the cows, so we have to mix up some TMR so we can feed them. But in order to have TMR, we need hay, and I've realized that I have yet to actually grind up some hay. So we got 2 bales here. That's 10,000 worth. We'll probably do about 4 bales just for now. Get 20,000 liters baled up, and then we can run 1 TMR wagon load each to each pasture, maybe 2 to the one with all the heifers. The bulls won't need it as much because there's only 5 of them. Now this loader barely makes it, so what I gotta do is I have to get to the edge there and then get the tip of it in there and drop 1 bale in, and the other one missed. So now we will, maybe that can be my next purchase. Maybe I can get a telehandler or something. And there you can see it's grinding it up and dumping the hay on the ground for us to use. We'll get these 2 bales done, and we'll do 2 more, and then we'll mix up we'll go switch out the loader and do a load of TMR and run it out to the bulls, and probably a couple loads of TMR, run them out to the heifers so that they can be fed. I guess if I use a different camera angle, I could probably get both bales in there to begin with. Am I good there? Let me see if I can back this thing up a little bit more. Move my pile over a little bit. There we go. Is it still dumping? Okay. We'll get in the tractor here, get 2 more bales, and then we'll go switch the bale fork for the loader and mix up a couple of wagon loads of TMR and get that out to the cows and get them fed, at least for the month of December. We already dropped 2 loads of pig feed for the pigs over yonder. I think these probably are still good because there's only 6 pigs in here. Yeah, they still have 7,800 liters of food. They have 12,000 liters of slurry and 1,700 liters of manure, so we're making manure and slurry. So that's good. That's good news. Might have to get us a slurry taker eventually. Maybe on the other side I can put down. Maybe I can put down a pig barn on the other side that actually produces slurry too. We can use that on our fields for some fertilizer content. We'll see. Alright, we got these last 2 bales. I'm going to try to circle my camera angle around with me here this time and see if I can't get both bales inside of here at the same time. There we go. I'm a little bit more centered on it this time. So now let's see if this is going to work. I've got to get both, get them up there, get them over the lip there, and then back up, let the grinder pull them off, and there we go. Alright, all those last 2 bales grind themselves up. We are going to go drop the forks and get the... Now I gotta remember to... honestly don't 100% remember what my... I think if I recall correctly... oh, there it is. If I recall correctly, my mixture is... should be 2 buckets of silage, 1 bucket of hay, 1 bucket of CCM, and then I'll top the rest off with mineral if I need to. Drop the yellow forks right there in front of the tree. Back up and come around and get loader bucket on. And then January we'll sell off some corn because we got some more purchases that we need to make because we have some. Come spring, I'm hoping to make one major change to the map if I can make it work. And of course, as always, I forgot to turn off my autosave. I've done that a couple times where I've actually remembered to turn off the autosave while I'm recording. But if I look at my time-saving stock check, I have 360 liters of corn. It's worth 327,000, but I'm only 220,000 of that is in the bin that I'm actually using to make the pig food out of and reserve in case I need to make more CCM. So we have about 140 liters of corn to sell here in January, and then we'll have 70,000 liters of soybeans to sell in July for 156,000. Hopefully the pigs and maybe ready to go to market before too long so we can make some money there. But I got a major change that's hopefully coming to the map here in the spring if I can get everything to work correctly. That'll be yet to be seen. Gotta go in here and uncover. Oh, wrong button. Uncover the CCM. Uncover the silage. Let's go. Turn this thing off too. Oh. It is not. Is it trying to say my pile's full there? Interesting. Maybe that's what it was. I just didn't like where it was going. We'll get these out here a little bit further here. Get it right up there against that bunker. That's fine. Put some here on the back. There we go. Now we're done. Why will you not shut off for me now? Why are you not turning off? Let's see. Turn off B. You need to unfold the tool first. I don't know what I folded. You first need to unfold the wood chipper. I don't know what's going on here. Well, we'll just turn you off. I don't know what's going on with that. We'll just turn it off. Alright, so now let's jump over a pile of hay here and let's make us some TMR. Go feed some cows. Let's start with a bucket of silage first. I think I need to keep my menu on anyway so that it will show me my TMR recipe up in the corner. Usually it shows you. Let's go in here. Yeah, so I got it set to be anywhere from like 50 to 80% silage, 50 to 80% hay, and then the silage mix, or the CCM or mineral feed will make up the rest. So yeah. We'll do 2 buckets of silage, 2 buckets of hay, and then we'll see where we're at. This bucket holds 5,000 liters each, and I want to say that that this wagon is set to hold like 21,000, so that should be about right. 4 buckets load. I don't know why it's uncovering a blanket killer back there, but that's alright. And I don't think that I actually have the mineral part set as a required option. It's just one that can be there. So that's good. Alright. So now we need one bucket of CCM. Oh, great. Well, I guess my mixer is not gonna recognize the CCM, so we might have just wasted all our time with that. Well, that's good to know, because now I can just focus on hay and silage. Well, I'm almost certain that the CCM mod was supposed to add CCM. Maybe I need to change. It's probably something, since I'm doing my own map, it's probably a fruit type or a field type somewhere, or my animal food recipes that I gotta change. I thought I had all that set already, but I guess I don't. Well, that's fine. We'll do 2 buckets of silage and 2 buckets of hay. And CCM, we'll just find out if we can sell it and make us some money off of it. Maybe I can use that bunker to put the hay in instead of laying it on the ground. We'll find out. But if CCM's not gonna work in my cow food mixture, then I might as well sell it all for money, or I'll mess around with my files behind the scenes and see if I can figure that out. But we have this big silo here full of mineral feed, so good thing we have that backup, even though it's not required to be part of the recipe. Alright, dump this one in here. Get the bucket high enough first. Oh, is it full? Yep, I guess it. How did I get to 21,000? I must have had some still in it, because I only put 10,000 silage and a little bit of hay in there. Interesting. Alright, well, we got our first load there, and I do have TMR, so I don't need to add. Now, since it's December and it's not really 81 degrees out, we'll just pretend. We'll leave the 2290 running. We're gonna take this load of TMR out to the bulls, and then we'll come back and make a couple more loads and run them out to the heifers. But that, I think, is what we're gonna call it good for this episode here. Remains to be seen when the next episode will drop. I'm trying to do every 2 weeks. I have been keeping up with that so far, even though the views are kind of low. I'll keep making content for you guys, though, for the 40 of you that are watching my videos, and see where we end up, because there's one more thing I want to do. I want to do at least one more episode here in the spring to see if I can make this one thing work that I want to try to make work. and then we'll go from there. I have experimented. I know I've been dropping the link for maps for FS down in the comments. I'm aware that that site is no longer operational. It is now, I think it's called Map to Play or something like that, and I've messed around with it. You can still make farming simulator maps on the new website, so if you just keep going to the Maps for FS link that I have down in the comments, you'll be able to link to the new site, and you can still make your own farming simulator maps based on real world grid coordinates. I have attempted to make a 4X map out of this same area that I'm using for this map, and I messed something up, and not all of my farmlands showed up correctly, so I have to go back and look at that and figure it out again. But that website does still work, so if you want to make your own maps and kind of be like me and break from the crowd and do your own thing, feel free to do so. But I hope you guys are liking my content. I was possibly gonna migrate to the 4X map later on in this series, but I just can't kid. I spent probably a good 6 to 7 hours this past weekend putting it all together, and then I put it in the game, and none of the fields and none of the farmlands showed up in game, and I can't figure out what I did wrong. So back to the drawing board on that one, but I do have something else planned for this 1X map for the spring that I want to show you guys. So stick around for a couple more episodes. I don't know that I'll do much over the winter because it'll just be hauling corn to the elevator, feeding the cows and feeding the pigs. So the next episode we come back to might very well be spring anyway, but we're getting up to where we're pushing 30 to 35 minutes on this video, so I need to call it quits and move on to the next thing. So as always, thank you for watching Moose Farms. Leave a like and a comment if you like this content. Give me a shout out in the comments if you want to, and we will see you guys next time on Moose Farms.